Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually having a bit of a dark day. I heard my dad speak on the phone earlier and he doesn't want to go to the hospital anymore for his medical exams that take place a couple of times a year. And I know why. I mean, one of the things is it's a big hassle to go to the hospital for him, which I understand, but he's also expecting that he'll die within the next few years, which is very unlikely from what I see. But then again, it's his body and he knows his body better than I do. But it's a pretty scary thought, I'm not gonna lie. It's difficult, especially considering the fact that I only have my mother and my father are, it's that bad really. But they're the only two people that I have when it comes to family. And so it's a pretty scary thought, especially considering the fact that I'll be living alone, which of course I am expecting because I'm supposed to move out at some point, but at this point, I don't know if it's a good idea. I mean, I want to for my own, mental health and benefit, but I don't think I should. And I've been really itchy the past few days. Don't know why. Maybe it's the stress. You never know. But it's a scary thought losing a parent, losing anybody really, because even outside of my parents, even outside of this tiny family we have, there is nobody that I really have in real life. I mean, online, of course, I have people, but like in the immediate vicinity, rather, there is nobody. So it's just gotta be me and my mom. And today, that reality that just hit me hard. It's not the first time I've realized this, of course, but yeah, every once in a while it just hits like a truck. And today's one of those days. So I'm a little bit down. I'm still trying to catch up on all the work I've missed from being sick and being ill. But yeah, that's going fine. But it's a pretty difficult day today. And I don't really know what to do with it. I mean, I wish I did, but I don't. And I don't really know how to handle it because I've never had to deal with loss. Not really. I mean, back when my dad's girlfriend died, that was maybe 8 years ago now. Maybe. I think I don't even know how long it was, but I think about 8 years ago, and that was painful. But it's not gonna be as hard as it will be with my dad because me and her, we were not close. Not really, anyway. But of course, this is going to be my dad, the person I've known all my life. So it's gonna be difficult. Why message? But it's just gonna be a difficult day, difficult evening, and tomorrow I'll probably be fine again for a while until the realization hits me again. But for now, it's a bit difficult. It just is. I don't know what really to do with it. I don't know how to process this because I've never had to process anything like this. The closest thing I've come to a real family member dying was my cat. I mean, all the other cats were relocated for one reason or another, all for their benefit, not ours. It did break my heart, but it's not the same thing. But then Moonlight died, and that was bad. Yeah, that was really bad. But yeah, Moonlight was my best buddy. He was a great cat. He was a very interesting mix between a Norwegian forest cat and a Bombay cat. both cats were black, both parents were black, but somehow they got Moonlight, which was completely grey, like silver. And I called him Moonlight because he had these circles on his side, on one on each side, which looked like moons. So yeah, and especially in certain lights, he would glow silver, like moonlight. So that's why I called him Moonlight, especially with the circles. And he was my best friend, my best buddy. He was always with me, and whenever I went to sleep, he would go to sleep because I could not, for the love of God, I could not have him in my room when I was sleeping. It was as soon as I went to sleep, that's when he would go and do shit in my room if I left the door open. So I had to close the door and make sure he wouldn't get in. But then he would go and sleep in the other bedroom, my mom's bedroom, because somehow she could handle that. I could not. And I remember he would sometimes wake me up. Like he would jump at the door, like, get up, you're sleeping too long, or whatever. If I was in my room for too long, he would come and wake me up. And he would have this quirky little thing, like if the bottom of his bowl was visible, even if there was food on the sides, and I'm pretty sure he did this on purpose, but he would push the food on the sides of the bowl, and you would see the metal on the bottom of the bowl. And as soon as that was there, he decided that the bowl was empty. So he wouldn't eat at all until I would either shake his little bowl to make sure that the full like the bottom was covered, and so he couldn't see the bottom, and then he would eat, or I'd had to refill his little bowl with new food, which was always a hassle because I would take out the food that was left in it, then put it in a different bowl, then put in new food, and then put the old one on top. That's how I kept the food as fresh as possible. I also know that some people feed every few hours or twice a day or something, but I don't know. I feel like if you leave a bowl out from kitten to adult and you just fill it, they never eat too much because they don't have to fight for the food. They're not like, oh my god, I'm finally getting fat again, so now I need to eat as much as possible. If you just leave the bowl out and fill it up, they will eat until they're not hungry anymore and eat the rest later when they are. At least that's in my experience. I've had a lot of cats. I've had like 10 cats at this point. I really miss having a cat. And yeah, we do the same with the dog, right? Luna is a German Spitz, or at least that's one word for it in English. Apparently there are multiple names for this breed. And she's pretty cute. She's a little bitchy in terms of she always wants more snacks, and if she doesn't get it, she'll start barking and misbehaving. But yeah, she is basically pretty good with her food. And yeah, we just do the same thing. We just fill it up, then leave it out. And if she's hungry, she can eat. If she isn't, then she doesn't need to. And that's pretty good because that way we can also monitor whenever there's something wrong. Like if she's not hungry and she isn't eating at all, that's when we need to go to the vet. But she never overeats. She's on a pretty good weight, as was my cat, by the way. And I am so freaking itchy. So I don't really know, but yeah, I don't really get the whole feed twice a day or 3 times a day thing. I just don't. I mean, if you have multiple cats, maybe we never did. We had multiple cats. They could eat whenever they wanted to. They never had to fight for the food or whatever. But yeah, of course they did kind of fight whenever they would get the wet food kind of thing, because you cannot leave that out. It just dries up and it becomes disgusting, especially attracting a lot of flies. Like, no, that's disgusting. But yeah, they would always eat that pretty fast. But it's like, if you only feed them every somewhat hours, I mean, they're gonna fight for the food. They're gonna feel like they're not getting enough or something. Or at least that's my experience with them. But yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling again. Typical. It's actually kind of crazy. Remember when I dyed my hair last week? Yeah, I already have outgrow. Like, I had outgrow the first few days. It was ridiculous. It's, yeah. It's up till here now. This part. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I have to re-dye again at some point. Not right now, it's not that visible on camera. And my hair definitely does look a lot more coppery than it did before. But that's okay. Again, I will fix it. But it's also kind of crazy because you can clearly see this part is a whole lot darker than the rest of my hair, which is ridiculous. It's always been like that. It doesn't matter which color I dye it. It will always be a whole lot more darker on this side than it will be here. And I don't know why that is. Just, I have multiple tones in my hair. But it's also kind of crazy because, like I said, these spots right here, they don't really dye as well as a little pluck here. I can try however the fuck I want. I'm sorry for cussing, that was not my intention. But yeah, you can see it right here, like, it doesn't dye. I can try however I want. I can leave the dye in for 10 hours if I want to. It's not dyeing. It's not doing what I want. Same thing with curling irons or whatever. There are a couple of places that just don't want to take. And before you think it, no, it's not that hair. Everything is fine. My hair is pretty healthy. I let it go dirty every once in a while because according to science, it's actually pretty good for your hair if you leave your hair unwashed for a little longer than you would usually wash it. Like, don't just wash it right away when it gets a little dirty. That seems to be pretty good. And from what I can tell, I always get compliments from my hairdresser. Of course, I do go to the hairdresser when my hair is freshly washed, but yeah, they always tell me it's a good thing and not to do anything like some people wash it every day, which if you do that, well, okay, but I've been told not to do that because it's actually really bad for your hair. Then again, not my place to tell you what to do with your hair. By the way, I have a bit of a crazy video coming up because I am gonna attempt to cut it myself again. I don't have a video on this channel cutting my hair, before you're wondering, but I'm gonna try a video that was done by Brad Mundo, and he shows it pretty well. I've seen other people do it. It's a pretty easy cut, and basically you tie your hair in a ponytail, you tie above the ponytail, and you will have layered hair, which is pretty good for volume but also for control. So I'm gonna do that at some point. I don't know when yet. Still need a little bit of courage for that. I usually once a year I do the mom cut, if you know what I mean. It's when you just cut your hair, try to get it straight. That's it, like a bob. And yeah. Okay, this video is a lot longer than I thought it would be, and people usually don't watch for more than 3 minutes, so you're probably not watching this. But anyway, if you've watched till this point, leave me a heart in the comments, and I will see you next time. I love you, have a good night, and see you tomorrow. I love you.